Hi everyone, welcome to Royal Palace online crash course. Now in this video I am discussing about Newton's third law. So Newton's first law and its application, second law and its application I given some basic idea in the last video. Now let us discuss about Newton's third law. So this law is very famous and you also know every action has a equal and opposite reaction. So in this law, this is nothing but a conservation of momentum only. First take recoiling of gun. Suppose there is a gun, let us assume this is the gun. A bullet moves forward, gun moves backward. So what Newton's third law says, every action has equal and opposite reaction. Action will be on one body, reaction will be on another body. If mass of the gun is capital M, the velocity, mass of the bullet if you take it as small m, mass of the bullet if you take it as small m, and if bullet moves forward, gun with bullet moves backward. So this is the momentum of bullet, this is momentum of gun with gun and bullet. So initially bullet is inside gun and bullet moves forward, gun moves backward. So here just small correction here, m into v only, not m plus m into v. Bullet moves forward, gun moves backward. If that bullet is inside gun, you have to write m plus m into v. Okay, sorry for this. Next, rocket propulsion. Rocket propulsion is also based on Newton's third law. So what happens in rocket propulsion is, rocket will move upwards by ejecting gases downwards. So it will provide a thrust on the ground and it will move upward direction. Suppose if you are standing on a large ice block, suppose anyhow by any means, suppose you are standing on a large ice block like this. Somebody took you and dropped on a large ice block. Let us assume it is very large. On that ice block you are standing. Suppose if you want to move forward, you will fall down. Just if you want to move forward, because there is no friction, you are on the ice, you can't walk on the ice, so you will fall down. So in that case, how you can come out of that ice block? So by using Newton's third law you can come. Just to apply force in forward direction, you will move backward. Just apply force, you will move backward. Then again apply force, you will move backward, and finally you will come out of that block. So that is here also what rocket will do. Rocket will apply force downwards, it will get a reaction force on it, and based on that it is going to go to the high level, the height. So it can reach the height. So rate of the mass ejected, rate, how much rate mass is ejected is dm by dt. Mass at any time. So here mass is lost every time. So while writing the formula for force I given F is equal to dm by dt into u, or m into du by dt also. So mass at any time mt is equal to m naught minus rt. So this much is reduced. So this much is ejected per second. So mass is reduced. This is the initial mass, r into t. If they ask what is the mass of the rocket after time t. Next, velocity of gas with respect to ground. So if you take velocity of gas with respect to, sorry, it is not with respect to ground, it is with respect to rocket. Velocity of gas with respect to rocket is Vg bar plus V bar. If you take magnitude minus Vg plus V, relative velocity you can calculate. And next, thrust on the rocket, how much thrust it is having, how much force it is having, dm by dt into V. Why I am writing minus? Because it is a reaction force. Next, acceleration of the rocket. This is the formula for acceleration of the rocket. So m into a, same, here you write m into a, then you calculate. This is mass at time t. Suppose if rocket mass is some 1000 kg, after some time it is not 1000 kg, because every time fuel is ejected down, mass is getting reduced. When mass is getting reduced, we can have force. F is equal to rate of change of momentum, dp by dt. So what you have written, dm by dt into v plus dm, we can change mass also, dm by dt into v also you can write, and m into dv by dt. So we can change the velocity also. Now velocity of rocket at any time velocity of rocket is v is equal to v naught plus Vg log E m naught by m. This is very important formula for your exams. They will ask what is the velocity of V naught is initial velocity. In some book they will write it as U. This is velocity of gas log E m naught by m. So this derivation we have done in our regular classes. Now just this is a just quick recap of your Newton's laws of motion. So just you can remember this formula. If I consider the gravity, if I consider the gravitational force, gravitational force, V is equal to U minus gt. So this will be the velocity of the rocket at any time. If you take V naught as 0, if you take initial velocity of rocket is 0, then you have to put here V naught is equal to 0. This is the velocity of rocket when gravity is considered. Gravity is considered. When we consider gravity, when gravity is considered, this is the velocity. Next, coming to next important topic of Newton's laws, friction. So friction is a necessary evil, it is required, but because of friction there is some loss. So what is friction? You know, friction is the force which opposes the relative motion between the two bodies which are in contact with each other. Suppose there are two bodies which are in contact with each other. A block is lying on ground or on a table. So when block is lying on a table, there is no friction. But once it starts moving, suppose if this block starts moving, sliding on this ground, when there is a relative motion between two bodies, then only friction arises. So friction is the force which opposes the relative motion between the two bodies and which is equal to coefficient of friction into normal reaction. The measure of friction is normal reaction. How much normal reaction is there, that much friction will be there. And mu is called coefficient of friction. There are three types of friction: static friction, kinetic friction and rolling friction. You know very well, static friction will be higher than kinetic friction and rolling friction. And there is a graph also. If you see your NCERT textbook while preparing for your theory exams, you might have seen the graph also. There you know maximum static friction is called limiting friction. So here in this, based on this static friction, they will ask one simple question. What is that question is, suppose if mu value is equal to, mu s value is 0.1, mass of the body if I take it as 1 kg, g if I am taking it as 10. So if I calculate frictional force, how much I will get? Mu s mg, because normal reaction is mg here. Normal reaction is mg, mu s mg. How much you will get? This is 0.1 into 1 into 10. So this you will get 1 Newton. Okay, 1 Newton. If I apply 0.25 Newtons, 1 Newton is required to detach this body. So to set a body into relative motion, what force is required is called static frictional force. So until you apply 1 Newton, this body will not move. If I applied 0.25 Newton, then what is the frictional force acting on that body? Most of the people will answer it as 1 Newton. It is not 1 Newton. If frictional force acting on this is 1 Newton, applied force is 0.25, then net force will be some minus 0.75, which is not possible in nature. We can't have force without moving the body. Every body continues to be in state of rest until and unless an external force acts. So when an external force is acting, this body should move, or its velocity should change, or its direction should change, but nothing is there. So in this case, frictional force is equal to 0.25 only, because net force is 0, body is at rest, applied force becomes frictional force. So frictional force, if I apply 1 Newton, just body starts to move. If I apply more than 1 Newton, body will be in motion. Once body is in motion, you have to take kinetic friction. So formula for friction is mu s mg, and this is motion of a body on an inclined plane. Let us take there is an inclined plane of angle of inclination theta, and length L is the length of the inclined plane. Then what is the acceleration? So how you will calculate the acceleration means, Let us take a body on this inclined plane. Mg will be acting down. Here you will get mg cos theta, and in this direction you will get mg sin theta. Okay, in this direction you will get mg sin theta. So now net force. So body is coming down, frictional force will be acting upward direction. Then you can calculate the acceleration. Acceleration you will get g sin theta minus mu k cos theta. So acceleration net force m into a is equal to g sin theta is downwards and frictional force is upwards. So mg sin theta should be greater, that's why body is coming down. So mg sin theta minus mu mg cos theta is equal to acceleration. Acceleration you will get time taken is equal to under root of 2L by g. Next, pulling a body. So when you are pulling a body, this is the force required. If you are applying the force at an angle theta, this is the force required. And if you substitute the value of angle of repose, you will get mg sin alpha by cos theta minus alpha. And you can observe here denominator is more, here denominator is less. That's why pulling is easier than pushing. Pulling is easier than pushing. Next is stopping distance. Next will be stopping distance. Stopping distance, that means when you are moving in a vehicle stops because of friction. A person walks because of friction. To stop a vehicle, friction is required. But because of friction, these tires will get wear and tear. There are some advantages as well as disadvantages. Many advantages are there, at the same time disadvantages are there. In order to stop this vehicle, what is the force required? If a body is getting stopped because of frictional force, then what is the force acting on that? F is equal to ma will be acting. That is F is equal to ma is equal to mu k mg, and m will get cancelled. This is the acceleration. If you apply s is equal to v square minus u square is equal to 2as, you will get a stopping distance s is equal to u square by 2 mu k g. Next, safest speed during turn. Suppose there is a, let us assume there is a turn. If a person has to take a turn in a road like this. So let us take, there is a road, person is taking the turn. Okay. When you are in a straight road and when you are in a curved road, what is the difference? So what happens when you are in a straight road? You are not worried about the safest speed. When you are taking turn, you will reduce your speed. Automatically will reduce. You will reduce the speed and will take the turn. So what is the difference? When you are in a curved road, there will be another force acting, which is called centripetal force, and for this another reaction force will be there, centrifugal force. Centrifugal force will be acting in upward direction. So in order to overcome that centrifugal force, this friction helps. So once your vehicle is not detaching from the what you can say bottom of the road, then your vehicle is safe. So necessary centripetal force is provided by friction here. So friction, if you take mv square by r is equal to mu mg, m will get cancelled. The safest speed is equal to under root of mu s g into r, and omega v is equal to r omega. If you substitute, you will get omega is equal to, this is the safest angular velocity required. Safest angular velocity required. And the fractional length of the chain that can be hanging on a table. So there will be a table. On that table you are keeping one chain here. So let us see here. Let us assume there is a table here. On this table you are keeping some chain. Okay. What fractional length? How much length can be hanged? How much length can be hanged? That is equal to fractional length. Length hanged by total length is equal to mu by mu plus 1. So how you will get this? Mu by mu plus 1. How you are going to get? Here the simple is, this mass you can take mg acting down, and here mu into m minus m into g. If this frictional force must balance this weight, then substitute, then you will get the here uniform chain. Uniform chain means mass is proportional to length. So here what you can write? L minus L, here L you can write. Suppose if L is hanging, mass is proportional to length, here L minus L, here small l you can write. Then if you equate both, so why this body is not falling down, why this part is not falling down? Because of the frictional force. Frictional force always opposes the relative motion between the two bodies. So because of the frictional force, the body is not falling. So if you equate this, here I can write capital L minus small l, here small l I can write, because it is a uniform chain, mass is directly proportional to length. This is the formula, what is the fractional part of the chain that can be hanged. And next, suppose if a block is there, if that block is pressed against the wall, suppose if I press a block, if I take a block and if I press it against the wall like this, by pressing I can make it not to fall down. So why it is not falling down? Because of my force, their friction is created which is opposite to mg. Mg will be acting down. When I am pressing, I am creating some frictional force, static frictional force I am creating. So when if I stop pressing this block will fall down. So why when we are pressing, what we are doing, we are creating frictional force between this block as well this block as well as this board, and in this case normal reaction will be applied force. This is very important here. Normal reaction will be applied force. What is the definition of normal reaction? The force which is acting perpendicular to the lower surface of upper body. Suppose this body is present on a ground like this. Suppose this body is present on a ground like this. The force which is acting perpendicular to the lower surface of upper body, which is acting perpendicular to the lower surface of upper body, is called a normal reaction. So with what force you are pressing down, that force acts as a normal reaction. If one block is present on another, so in this case also mg will be acting down, reaction force is acting N. The force which is acting perpendicular to the lower surface of upper body is called normal reaction. In this case normal reaction is mg cos theta I have taken, because this is the perpendicular force. So here the perpendicular force is the applied force, therefore mu into F must be equal to m into g, then this block will not fall down. And next, to the rear end of a truck, this is a truck, for this truck at the rear end, that means at front, so you can keep one block to your face, and if you run with certain acceleration, this block will not fall down. The reason is, this truck is accelerating forward. To the head of the truck I placed one block. So when truck is accelerating forward, according to Newton, this is the accelerated frame of reference. So this block will experience a pseudo force in backward direction. So you can take one block, keep in front of your face like this, and if you start running with certain acceleration, this block will not fall down. The reason is, when you are moving forward with acceleration A, pseudo force acts in opposite. It is nothing but pressing this block with a pseudo force. These two are same only. Here what we are doing, I am applying force. Here nothing but I attached that block to a truck. The truck is accelerating forward. Then you are, that is nothing but pressing this block with a force F. Therefore mu into ma is equal to mg. And next, if n number of blocks of mass m are placed one above the other, the force required to pull the nth block, force required to pull the nth block is equal to F is equal to 2n minus 1 into mu mg. F is equal to 2n minus 1 into mu mg. So this, if suppose if n number of blocks are there, if n number of blocks are there, if you are pulling the nth block, so when you are pulling this block, how many blocks are above this block, you use the normal reaction, and force required is F is equal to 2n minus 1 into mu mg. This derivation we have done in our regular classes. Okay. And next we will see some of the cases in friction. Many cases are there, that is safe turn banking of roads, that we will see next. Okay, next we will see motion of a cyclist. See, when a cyclist is taking turn, I think just now also we discussed, when cyclist is taking turn, if n is the normal reaction, if n is the normal reaction like this, a cyclist when he is taking turn, he will bend. So where this is our common experience, when you are taking a turn, we are going to bend like this. So this is the, if you take, this is the normal reaction of the person. If he is taking a turn theta, this will be n cos theta, we will write here. This is the normal reaction of the person. Now he is in a circle now. When he is in a circle, he will experience centripetal force. So when you are on a normal road, it is not a condition. When you are in a circle, so if this is theta, here you will get n cos theta, and here you will get n sin theta. N sin theta provides centripetal force mv square by r. So n sin theta is equal to mv square by r, n cos theta is equal to mg. So n sin theta is equal to mv square by r, n cos theta is equal to mg. Divide both, you will get the angle at which the cyclist bends. Tan theta is equal to v square by rg. This is the angle at which the cyclist has to bend. And next topic is banking of roads. Before going to banking of roads, when you are on a level road, so just now also we discussed this, when you are on a level road, you are taking turn, safest speed is equal to mu mg provides necessary centripetal force mv square by r. Safest speed is equal to under root mu rg. So under root mu rg, this is the maximum speed you can have. So next time what they will do? They will do banking of roads. In order to avoid or in order to avoid the movement of the person away from the circular road, and in order to provide necessary centripetal force, what they will do? They will raise the outer edge of the road. Suppose what is banking of roads? If you want to understand clearly, let us assume this is the road, this part is road. Assume my hand as road. So this is road, you are moving like this. The outer edge is raised like this. Outer edge. You assume this as suppose this you are assuming it as road. Outer edge, what I will do? I will just raise it. When I raise the outer edge, you are more bending towards. It is similar to the cyclist bending. Here cyclist is moving, he is bending. But here the construction itself is such a way that you are taking the bend like this. So this is road. The outer edge, this edge is raised. This edge. So this will be the road. The outer edge is little bit raised like this. So that means you are on an inclined plane now. This is the original part of the road. This is the road like this. Road is like this. Now what will do? This outer edge will raise like this. So outer edge is raised. Now you are on an inclined plane. Nothing but you are on an inclined plane. This is the horizontal road. That outer edge of the road I raised like this. This is called banking of roads. Outer edge will be raised. This is called banking of roads. Now this will be normal reaction, and here you will get n cos theta, and here you will get n sin theta. Where this is theta, this is theta. Now similarly you will get banking of roads. N cos theta balances your weight. N sin theta provides necessary centripetal force. N sin theta provides necessary centripetal force mv square by r. Then tan theta is equal to v square by rg. So here what is the advantage of banking of roads is some component of your normal reaction providing centripetal force. Here no need of friction. Instead of friction, your component only, some component of your normal reaction is providing necessary centripetal force. mg, because of bending, some component of your normal reaction, actually normal reaction will balance only mg, but because of that banking of roads, n sin theta balance mv square by r. This is more important. Some part of our component of normal reaction balance gives centripetal force and balances our weight also. So what is the banking of Rhodes formula? Tan theta is equal to V square by Rg. And if friction is considered, then also we can get the safest speed. What is the safest speed? If friction is considered, safest speed is equal to root Rg into mu s plus tan theta by 1 minus mu s into tan theta. This is the maximum velocity we can have on a banked road where when friction is considered. So when friction is considered, what happens? Suppose if this body slides down, let us assume the body is on an inclined plane, it is sliding down, friction will act in this direction. If mg sin theta, if mg sin theta is greater than frictional force will act in this direction. Suppose if body experience force in upward direction, frictional force act in downward direction. So when frictional force is considered, this is the maximum velocity which we can have. This derivation we have done in the regular classes. You can refer your class notes. V max is equal to root of Rg into mu s plus tan theta 1 minus mu s into tan theta. So what they will ask in the exams is, what is the safest speed to go on a banked road? This is the safest speed. What is the banking angle? Tan theta is equal to V square by Rg. So these are the quick recap of some formulas in Newton's laws of motion. You can start solving the problems, and you can take the screenshot of this board, this video, and you can write down the formulas. You can do the problems, and if you have any doubts, you can ask in our WhatsApp group, or you can write in a comment section. If you have any comments, you can write in the comment section. Thank you for joining me.